Hi guys, welcome back to another Aerodrome's weekly update. So I regularly cover Aerodrome on Sunday. You will get my video, and if you're interested in Aerodrome, you can also subscribe and like and share. So let's see what is happening this week. So before we get to the latest update, I just want to say that as I said in my last update, as you can see, it played out perfectly, as you can see, and it did actually hold around 76.7 cent, which was pretty awesome. And this was a sniper entry, as you can see here. We will discuss at the end what is happening with its price, but as of now, let's see what happened last week with Aerodrome, and whether that will impact Aerodrome's price in the future or not. And as of now, last week we were into epoch 41, and now we are into epoch 42. So let's get started. So let's have a look at what happened last week. So first of all, the biggest one would be this one. So again, volume is flying. So Aerodrome had 3 consecutive, I think, over 1 billion volume weekly. That was just, I think, awesome. And as you can see here, in the last epoch, we also did beat 40 epoch volume, so that's pretty awesome, I think. And I think that means we still have huge demand for the Aerodrome itself, and I think the Aerodrome will most likely get even more volume in the future, because this growth, looking at the current market condition, is, I think, very big. So let's see what happens, but I think Aerodrome will most likely get even more volume. After that, we do have Aerodrome slipstream is soaring, as you can see. Slipstream actually went 225 million in volume yesterday during high volatility. So as you can see here, fees are approaching 1.5 million this epoch, which is pretty big. 100% of which fees goes to the VE Aero voters. So whoever actually locked their Aero tokens will get I think some of the amount from the 1.5 million, which is pretty big. So I think this means we will probably see a lot of new users actually locking their Aero coins, probably I think for 4 years. So that's a pretty big time. So that means if you look at here, I think that means that this will actually motivate others to lock their Aero tokens. So big demand for the Aero overall, I think. After that, we do have Coinbase Smart Wallet is live. So as you can see here, Coinbase Smart Wallet allows Coinbase users to go on chain without needing any app downloads, extension, or seed phrases. Users can now use their Coinbase balance on Aerodrome. So that's, I think, very big for Aerodrome. Now anyone with a Coinbase account can actually interact with Aerodrome, and I think that is going to increase a lot of user adoption overall for the Aerodrome in general, because most of the people, I think, don't like to go on Web3 wallet. So from now on, there won't be that problem. So I think that is going to increase a lot more user base for the Aerodrome, and I think overall that is pretty good news for the Aerodrome. And after that, we do have, they went live with Leviathan for, I think, for some news, or they talked about something. I won't be going deep because the video is pretty long, so I did not watch it full. So let's move to another thing. So as you can see here, this is actually, I think, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong. As you can see, we have a developer. He says that if you still don't understand how serious Coinbase is about Base, on a day where he had pulled together some of the largest fund managers in the world, Brian Armstrong decided to spend his afternoon lunching with a few of us who are building on Base. So I think that is a lot, and that is big for the Base. So I think that means Coinbase is very much serious about Base, and I think that is going to increase demand for the Base. And as the Aerodrome is the biggest one, most likely that demand is coming to the Aerodrome. So I think that's big for the Aerodrome as well as Base. So after that, we do have, I think we don't have anything going on their Base. So beside that, we do have slipstream reward updates, as you can see here. After that, we do have actually Aerodrome hitting the second highest on-chain volume, even beating Solana's Orca, which is pretty big one, as you can see. Of course, we have Uniswap version 3 on Ethereum, because it is the biggest DEX, and I think it supports over 19 chains, so that's a lot. And Aerodrome only supports Base, and as you can see here, it is the second highest when it comes to WETH USD pair. So we have Sol USD pair on the second and WETH USDC pair on the on the Uniswap as well. But I think base is still the biggest one, as you can see, and I think that's big for the base, and as well as Aerodrome as well. So after that we do have some comparison again with Uniswap, and beside that we again have some LP rewards updates, and after that this one, and we have some new launches coming up. We have Chomp, APK, so basically other more meme coins on the Aerodrome. And I'm not actually sure how super migrate will impact Aerodrome, but still it is a layer 2s enabling the migration tokens, so that could be pretty good for the layer 2s overall. After that we do have new launch alert, which is Char, or we have Chia project as well coming up, and we also have Chintai Nexus coming up on the base, and I think we do have 2 weeks volume. Aerodrome did beat actually Uniswap in 2 weeks volume. That's pretty good, I think, for the Aerodrome overall. I don't think it actually matters for the Aerodrome this much. So overall Aerodrome, also yes, we did have a pretty big launch as well. So Wormhole did launch on Aerodrome, which is pretty big one. So W coin is a pretty big one, and I think they did actually chose Aerodrome as a launch partner, and I think that's pretty big one for the Aerodrome as well. Overall I think the week was pretty good for our Aerodrome, and they did have a pretty good update. So let's look at the base and some Aerodrome stats and what is happening with that. So let's look at the TVL of the base. Overall I think overall DeFi is going down, as you can see here. So overall market cap overall TVL did went, I think, from 1.9 billion to 1.1 billion. That is a big, I think, loss of TVL. Still, let's see what is happening with base. So base, I think, did end up hitting a new all-time high, which was around 1.79, or it was nearly 1.8 billion, and as of now we are around 1.64 billion. And Aerodrome did lose some of that, and Uniswap is again gaining. So I think Uniswap may end up taking over Aerodrome, and I think 1 month should be enough. Let's see what happens, but I think Uniswap is actually going up like crazy on the base, as you can see here. And Aerodrome did lose 11% of its TVL. That is a lot, I think. Let's see what happens, but I think overall market is going down, so this should not be that much of a big problem, and I think it will actually end up gaining even more once the market does recover. And if we look at overall TVL of the Aerodrome, I think it's near its support, which should be around 583, and after that I think it will most likely go up again. So looking at the Aerodrome's stats, we have Epoch 42, and if we just look at overall pool soft fees, they did went big one, as you can see, and the volume is actually pretty good, and I think it will most likely end up beating 1 billion again. So we are somewhere around, I think, 600 million as of now. So let's see, still there is a time for this Epoch, so I think it will be pretty good. So this Epoch, I think, will end on 20, so we still have 5 days to go, and I think that should be, sorry, we still have 4 days to go, and I think that should be enough. And if you look at VE lockers, we did have a pretty good amount. So we in Epoch 41 we saw, I think, around 7.8 million new Aero Coin locked, and that's pretty big one, as you can see. The average lock time is 3.88 years, which is a lot. So let's see how many we see this week, but as of now we are from 603 million, we are, I think, up 1 million as of now. So let's see what happens once this epoch does end, but I think the last epoch was a pretty much success. So I think overall the Aerodrome is looking pretty good from the last epoch. So let's see what happens. So let's look at the price action. So I will actually take 2 or 3 hours or even 5 hours break and try to cover the price action after that, because I do want to see where this wick will go, or where this candle will go. So I will back in 4 to 3 hours for this analysis. So looking at Aero price analysis, I think the entry was pretty awesome. As you can see here, we had a lot of buyers interested around somewhere here, and the volume was pretty awesome, as you can see. So now I think all that needs to be done here is that Aero needs to actually break this has to break this resistance, which is around, I think the first one should be around 94 or something like 86 is a pretty good resistance, as you can see here. So if we somehow do end up breaking this downtrend, which is happening, I think ever since, just a second. So if we do break this downtrend, I think we are actually heading higher, because there was a lot of demand for the Aero. And I did say in my previous update that we had a pretty good entry in this demand zone, and of course whoever entered at this around 76, it was a pretty good entry, as you can see. And I think as of now we do have a pretty good volume, and overall the Aero is looking bullish, because now we have a lot more users coming in from the Coinbase directly to the Aerodrome, and I think that is going to be pretty big for the Aerodrome in the future. And once I think users do realize that how the base, once I think we see more users on the base, I think the Aerodrome will end up getting a lot more attraction. And I think overall Aerodrome does have a lot of, I think, demand, unlike Velodrome. So let's see what happens. But I think if we do end up actually breaking out this downtrend, if we just look here, I think this downtrend is coming from its all-time high, which was somewhere around here. So if we do end up breaking out from here, I think if we do end up breaking out from here, the first resistance I think it has is somewhere around 94, and after that I think we don't have that much resistance. We do have some at 97, or I think around 1.04 seems like a pretty good resistance. But I think if we do break out from here, it should be a pretty good breakout. But if we do let's just say that it goes as high as 88 cent and rejects from here, and it does not stop from again at 76, so I think then we are heading towards 65 to 57 cent. Seems like a pretty good entry again, but this entry was a pretty awesome one. So if we do come here, I think we'll most likely rebound pretty hard from 57, or most likely around somewhere 60 cent is a pretty good entry. So but as of now, I think this should actually give a pretty good time for Aero to recover. But we do have resistance around 98, and I think that seems like a pretty strong one if we just look here. Anyways, I think overall Aerodrome is bullish, but if the BTC does go down, I don't think that Aerodrome will go up unless we have any big news or anything like that. So if the BTC starts to go down again, I think we are actually heading towards 65 or 60. But if the BTC starts to go up again, I think we are actually heading towards $1, or even 95 or 94 should be possible from here. So anyways, this was it. I hope you liked the video. I will be back with more. Thanks for watching.